Following an 80-61 victory over Memphis in the Convocation Center, we have head UTSA women's basketball coach Karen Aston in the center. On camera left, graduate student point guard Nina de Leon Negron. And on camera right, sophomore forward Idara Udo. Coach, your team just secured a double bye in the American Athletic Conference Championship Tournament. Could you start us off with an opening statement?
First of all, I just want to say thanks to everyone that came out today because the crowd was amazing. And, that's what we've been saying repeatedly here the last few home games, but took the cake today. I thought they were really, really good and loud and excited about being here, and they're still out there right now getting autographs. So just kudos to everyone that's making that happen, first of all. Our marketing group, our administration. There's been a lot of effort into getting the community to pay attention to our team. Even you guys that are here today have had a huge part in that too, and I think you see results, and it's exciting for our program. So thanks to everybody. I thought this was a really good second half, a little bit of a tale of two halves, and it's a win. That's what this is all about right now. You don't overanalyze it too much. You just look at what you can do better and move on.
1,523 people in the combo. That's a season high. And we're used to seeing Idara and Nina rocking chains in these post-game interviews, but you've got one on today. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
April and Sarah was nice enough to actually give our team some of these that every time we have a player of the game, they get the cash-in chain, but they also get one of these to keep. And she suggested that she come and sell some of these because she had several extra ones, so she wanted to sell them today and give the proceeds to our team. And I think she's doing very well today with her sales. So much appreciated to her and just the support that she and a lot of others have given us.
Idara, 14 points, 13 rebounds, another double-double, more Wendy's for everybody. But we're going to actually ask Nina, what is it like having a spark plug like Idara on the team?
Ooh, okay, Ryan. It's amazing. It just makes my life easier because sometimes she just saves me because sometimes I forget to box out, I'll admit. And Idara's right there, just grinding and doing the hard things. At the same time, shots weren't going in the first half how we wanted them to go in. And Idara was there, trying in the old board. So it just really makes our life easier and less tiring, if I'm being honest.
You had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. So, Idara, how much easier is it to do your job in the post when you have a facilitator and a leader like Nina?
I think that it's a blessing. Nina makes my life so much easier. A lot of my shots are just point-blank layups due to her drawing the defense, drawing my defense, and just picking apart each team's defense. I think I'm really appreciative of how she commands the floor and just how she gets everybody in the spots they need to be in. So we're really thankful for Nina and everything she does, too.
We'll open it up to questions.
Coach, AP with a 15-point game today. It's nothing new that she's very crafty. She's a bucket getter. How important was her performance in today's game today?
Yeah, it was crucial for a couple of reasons. Obviously the shot making, but also she had some. I think her defense is improving, which has been something that we've focused on quite a bit. It's just learning how to go play to play, and you can definitely see that she's starting to kind of find her groove. But I think that her contribution today really opened up the other players a little bit. The two starting guards in particular, Sid and Nina, have logged a lot of minutes this year. So I think the fact that we're starting to get some major contributions from other players has really been kind of the story of the last 2 games, to be honest with you. I thought Taylor was great. I thought, obviously, AP. So we're starting to see more contributions from more people, and that's what I was really trying to get to a few weeks ago, that I was concerned that we weren't able to play enough people there. That's really a good sign for us as we start to think about the tournament.
All right, Coach, as y'all continue to remain dominant, which congratulations, by the way, for the double bye going into the tournament, what are some key things moving forward to keep this momentum up and as we get closer to the tournament?
I definitely think there are some areas that we need to shore up. I thought we shot the ball better the last 2 games. But that's not from like a lack of getting in the gym, so I don't worry about that. We have players in the gym constantly. So, you kind of know that that's going to come around if anybody's in any type of slump or if people are daring us to shoot certain shots. I feel like that's going to be okay. I think that our rebounding is a little bit of a concern for me right now. We've had a couple of games where we've really allowed people to get a lot of O boards. And then, I could nitpick and say I thought our defense was a struggle today in the first half, but Memphis was playing really, really well. I thought we turned it around and had a really solid effort. But I think as far as what I'm looking for towards the tournament, I think we're finding that. I think we're finding people that are contributing in a major way. I think Taylor is really starting to understand what's necessary. Cheyenne's been solid the whole time, but then you start to think about AP. I think that's a pretty good rotation you can get, and you can count on some things that will happen in the tournament that happened today, which is people getting in foul trouble and having them need to contribute. They're stepping up, and that's a big deal for us.
Just wanted to ask Nina about the Memphis Tigers. They played y'all really well up in Memphis. They were right there through all 4 quarters. Today they were within 2 points. They were up on y'all 2 at halftime, shooting the ball really well for the most part in the first half. What is it about them that when they're on that has given y'all so much trouble this year?
If I'm being honest, I think it's like a being locked in thing. Like in the first half, we were just not locked in defensively. Like we weren't doing the stuff that we were supposed to do. We weren't rebounding. So I'm just gonna say, like in the second half, like you could see that everything changed. We started talking, we started rebounding, boxing out. So it was just a being locked in thing.
Idara, you guys fell behind by 12 early in this game. What is it like in that moment, and how do you guys turn that around the way that you did?
I think in that moment, our focus is just to keep pushing, keep getting the ball out fast, keep pushing the ball in transition. I think we did that, and then as a result, we started getting some transition buckets, open looks, and stuff like that. I think that this team is very resilient, so when we get in situations like that, it's obviously not ideal, but I think that this team has a mindset to get ourselves out of holes quickly, and I think that we did that today.
Nina, when you guys played Memphis last time, you were down a lot later in the game than today. Does that give you any confidence when you fall behind early, or do you think about that at all?
No, not really. I feel like it's becoming, like, past games, that happens a lot. Like, we come from behind, and I just think that we need to figure out how for that to not happen. But, like, yeah, it kind of, like, helps. Like, we've been here before, but it's just something that shouldn't keep happening. Like, we shouldn't keep allowing that.
Coach, what have you seen that has made this team effective at coming back from behind? There's been a few times this season you guys have been able to erase deficits pretty easily.
Definitely resilient. There's no question about that, and they have a quiet confidence about themselves that is nice. I think that they all trust each other, to turn around whatever's going wrong, and they have the ability to connect on the court without us, having to force it. I definitely I agree with Nina. We've got to figure out how to kind of stop digging the holes sometimes that we get in, but I also think you also have to give another team credit that everybody, I say this all the time, everybody has a reason for what they're doing, and everybody is trying to play for something, and so we're getting good shots from people. They're giving us, I don't want to say their best shot, it's kind of cliche, but people are playing really well against us, and we've learned to handle it, I think, without panicking, and that's, a tribute to our leadership, experience, those types of things that have helped us in a lot of games.
Idara, now into your second year, what's it been like for you to watch the growth of the crowd, and you come out and there's the whole lower levels full and there's a lot of people upstairs?
I think that it's mind-blowing. Just like being here for 2 years, the difference from year 1 to year 2 and the difference from even the beginning of the season till now is like very tremendous. I think that we're really appreciative for all the fans that come out every single game. Like, people who you don't even know are your biggest fans, and it just means the world to us. And I think that us having continued support and keep growing the crowd is the goal, and just having people care about us and how we play and how we do.
Coach, in the game against Temple, I think it was, you had a bunch of players who maybe weren't in your starting lineup play, and they sort of helped you weather the storm, but they they didn't necessarily help you kind of get the lead back. And today, it was a lot of those same players who really drove the team. What's that been like to watch, and how have you seen that growth?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think, again, for many reasons, when you get into tournament play, you never know what's going to happen, and you're playing, we hope, 3 nights in a row, and someone's probably going to have to step up. Other teams' focus clearly is on, what I guess people think are our main scorers. So, we've seen all kinds of different defenses. We've seen doubles. Nina's seen people eat her shirt off, so there's been a lot of different looks that's what I'm probably the most proud of, is that they've learned how to handle and sort of read the defense, and that's why I think our second halves have been better, because they've managed to figure out maybe how people are playing us. But in relation to the depth, I guess, is what you're speaking to. Again, this is what I was hoping for, is that people would stay engaged and not get down because they weren't getting to play in certain games, and I've seen a lot of that. I think that's been the most impressive thing, is that they just keep working.
Nina, sometimes when people think of UTSA, they may see the headlines about Jordan Jenkins, but you guys, she was in foul trouble today, and everything just kept going. How much of this team is just a collective team and not about, a couple of stars?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, whenever Jordy's scoring 30 points, that makes everybody else lives easier. But I just think that we just feed off each other. We just play like a team. It's just whoever's scoring, we're just trying to feed them and just score in transition, and we just keep it going and play together.
Coach, I wanted to ask about the gap between today. I guess y'all play a week from today, so you have some time to prepare. Seems like y'all have had some problems with that. Maybe a couple of games you lost this year, I think, came after a wide gap like that between games. You feel like what are your plans for this week on just kind of how to manage the time off or time down?
I mean, I definitely think you have to take advantage of not playing, and we have a lot of players that, I wouldn't even say the ones that have been in heavy minutes. I mean, the whole team has been grinding since June, and everybody works the same in practice, so I think a couple of days of light work or no work is going to not necessarily, I don't know that it'll help us when we go to Rice, but maybe when we go to Rice and then we turn around 2 days later and go to New Orleans, that might benefit us. So I think this is a good time, to take a deep breath. I mean, we may be in I don't know, are y'all in midterms right now, or?
No, not yet.
No, not yet?
No, not yet.
She's not in anything.
Right, girl.
But I mean, seriously, it's you can't to be able to give them a breath is a good thing, for sure. I mean, I think they probably need it. We didn't have any days to try to take a breath this week, so they'll be glad to not have to come here tomorrow for sure, and then we'll see what Monday brings. I can't
Idara.
remember, Jerry, what are you speaking of, like the Stanford game when we were, well, A&M was our first game, so, I mean.
And then before South Florida.
Yeah. I thought I didn't think we played bad at South Florida. They beat us.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good. They beat us on their home court, and I didn't think we played bad.
I also didn't make the trip to Tampa. So
That's exactly what it was. There it is, right there.
Yeah, had the flu.
Yeah, before we go, I want to give this one here some credit. She's been playing her ass off. I mean, I'm just saying that she has been playing her rear end off.
I didn't say it earlier. She had 3 blocks today and drew 10 fouls too.
Oh, great. Oh,
Yeah. Played her tail off.
thank you.
Idara, you had a couple controversial confrontations today. How do you keep your composure in moments like that, especially when you have young girls who are athletes in the crowd looking up to you, and seeing how you take those moments and you keep your emotions, in a good place, I guess you could say.
I think that people watching me, little girls watching me in the crowd is always something that's in the back of my mind, just trying to set an example as much as I can. I think I had one little moment today where I kind of got up a little bit, but I think just staying composed, it just helps the game. I think that a lot of people's plans are to try to like get us riled up and see who can get into a chippy contest with each other, but like that's not our MO, like that's not how our team rolls and stuff. So I think that staying composed has been like a key throughout this whole year helping us out. I think just composure has been like the secret like recipe to like a lot of games that we won. So yeah.
Hey Coach, you guys were able to capitalize on the fouls and errors of Memphis during the second half of the game. What were your thoughts going into and during that time?
I mean, I didn't think we would continue to play defense the way we did the first half. That's not who we are. I mean, they had 40 points at half. Again, credit to Memphis for sure. They played really, really well, but it definitely wasn't our best defensive performance, and I didn't think we'd play two halves of basketball like that. So I thought that we got more connected, guarded the ball better, made some adjustments to how we were guarding their ball screens, which I thought helped a little bit. Just kind of put our foot down as far as guarding the basketball. It was much better than it was in the first half, and again, credit to them. And I think we're a good defensive team, and we needed to be who we are in the second half, and I thought we did that. What's your name?
Hannah Velasquez.
Hannah. Okay, nice to see you.
Coach, in the second before you guys went on that 8-0 run, I think there was a couple of chances maybe of calling a timeout. Did you just want your team to overcome that adversity on their own and just push through before making that call?
It just goes back to kind of who we are and who we've been the whole year. I have a lot of trust in these guys. I mean, Sid and Nina were on the floor at that time, and I just don't think I have to call a timeout when they're on the floor. They can get our team organized if there's a dead ball. I just have a lot of trust in them, and I didn't want to burn one. I thought they could work through it.
Idara, I wanted to ask, with 4 games left, y'all have a one-game lead. South Florida, I guess, won earlier today, so y'all are still one up in the loss column on South Florida. 4 to play with a little bit of a lead. The winning the regular season doesn't necessarily, guarantee anything as far as the NCAA tournament, but how important is that to you? You're right now kind of right on the cusp of it. How important is that regular season title?
I think it's really important. That was one of our sub goals for the season. So I think that with 4 games left, it's like kind of like the final stretch, like the last lap of the race. So I think that now more than ever, we're just like honed in on, obviously trying to get a ring like for the conference, but also like keeping our minds on the American tournament, the NCAA tournament. I think that our team is always thinking one step ahead. So I think that we just have our mindsets still like locked in the moment, but just, our minds are on like what's ahead as well.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
March 1st, last home game.
Pack that combo.
Senior day, we get to send Nina off.
Get Nina out of here.